Okay, so we're live. I'm sweating, y'all. I hope you can hear me. Give me a. Yeah, I want to make sure I'm in here because I didn't want to miss out on. Now, let me. While we're waiting for some folks to come in, I'm gonna play a little something. But yes, we are here and we're live. We this is a special time because we do have. Um, we're gonna have a little build before I go into the last 30 minutes. Um, where I'm gonna have just the small little talk, or we may carry over into. So thank you all in advance for your patience while we get everybody in the building, in the virtual building, so that you all can join us in on this build. And yes, I'm getting texts, and hopefully we can get everybody in here. But while we're waiting, I need to play some music. And I did also want to say for everyone, in case I'm not um, live, happy holidays, y'all. We made it. We made it. Okay. So many of our loved ones did not. So, again, just let us all give thanks for being here, being able to say, have a happy holiday season, or, wishing folks a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Okay. Again, because everybody did not, have not been, was not fortunate enough to make it to see today. So, again, let's see. I'm trying to wait for the. Okay, y'all. And I need to send a text. Y'all, before I can play anything, I have to go ahead and handle this business. So just, like I said, just be a little patient with me. Yes. And if anyone else needs to, um, they need the link, uh, you text me your email, 626 and I will. I sent out a bunch of emails. I don't know if I haven't updated it. But yeah, I did send out, and will be trying to tell folks what I doing. So it's really hard for me to. Hey y'all. So again, today we're talking about protecting our girls and our female athletes in this in this new world order. I see you down there, and I'm gonna bring the brother in a minute. Let me I'm trying to make sure I don't get any more texts. But I see you, brother, and I'm about to bring you in. So when you get settled in, I'm gonna bring you in, and I'm trying to see if anybody else is trying to email it. We're also waiting for brother Carl to come in, so I'll send him the link as well. They might be waiting for you, so let me bring you on in here. I see you sat down. I guess I should ask, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Oh, and I hear you too. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Beautiful. Wonderful.
While we're trying to see if anybody else is gonna come up in here, because I have a couple of other brothers who like excited to come join the bill, so they might be waiting to see you here. So you're
Right.
here. Okay, I'm gonna turn it all the way down. You know, we gotta let Michael Platt.
Don't mind my dogs in the back acting crazy.
Okay, I don't even know. I don't even know what that was.
You look good.
Do I? Thank you.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm sweating. I was like, oh, I'm sweating. I can't find my fan.
Hey man, I tell you, to this day, I think you one of the best female rappers that I've ever seen, man.
He's like, I'm gonna put it down. So, okay, y'all was just telling somebody like, yeah, Layman was there. T, you know, I don't know you about Layman.
Right,
T
right, right,
was
right,
there
right.
at Carlos and Charlie's when I was
Yeah,
rapping. I
yeah,
wasn't, what was I 18 yet? I don't think I was 18 yet. I don't, you know,
man.
I do spoken word, but I be having to tell these little rap females when I try to get them to do stuff. It be like, now don't make me have to out rap your ass. You rapper, you.
I love it. I love it.
Okay. But yeah, I don't see anybody coming in. So let's just start because again, I don't want it to be too long and I want us to have a a strong, real conversation about this.
I'm on your time.
Okay, so well, and just because we know people don't have that long of an attention span either. But
Right.
I actually did want I was waiting for the coach to come in because I want he said that he's had an experience with coaching both and girls who trans boys, I guess, that want to compete with boys,
Mm.
and they feel like they can, and it's kind of like, do you want to allow them to go through that, And he's like I said, the mixed martial arts, so that's a serious thing. So I
Yeah.
really want to hear his take on that. But we can start off with just kind of okay. First of all, I know who you are, but I want you to let everybody else know. First, introduce yourself.
Right.
Let folks know who you are, and then we're going to go into. I want you to tell them about the program that you were telling me about, as far as the work that you're doing out there in Indianapolis.
Sure. Okay. Well, just to start, my name is LAMON Brewster, former heavyweight champion of the world. I went by Relentless LAMON Brewster. Um, I I currently still hold the world record for the fastest knockout in the heavyweight championship title fight in history, 53 seconds of the first round over Andrew Galata, United Center Showtime, 2005, something like that, Um, I I after I retired, I was trying to figure out like what was I supposed to do with my life. And so I got this I got this calling, if you will, to do something because I'm the type of person that I get feelings about things, and I never allowed those feelings. I never allowed myself to not entertain those feelings because a lot of times we get feelings in life, but because it's the fear of the unknown, because it could take you off of your foundation. Because life is about trying to stay on your square because that's what they told you.
Right.
But see, that's all wrong. Because see, where you want to stand ain't where God wants you to be planted
You better
sometimes.
speak, brother. He
That's
go
why
with
he say, lean not to your own understanding.
right.
And so sometimes when he's trying to lead you, you got to allow him to lead you, not because it's something that you want to do. And in my case, it ain't nothing that I wanted to do per se, because I love the way the world tasted. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, he said, "Many are called, few are chosen," and so I believe that he called me because I heard throughout my career for him to, like, something telling me to do something, and every time I would try to not do it, it seemed like a door would close in the way that I was trying to go. And another door would close and another door would close until I would just find myself right back facing the direction that he was trying to tell me to go. You know what I mean? And so I retired, and something told me to move back to Indianapolis, Indiana, because I lived in Los Angeles for over 20 years. I came out there in 1991 at the age of 18, made the U.S. Olympic team, was #1 heavyweight in the United States for 3 years, #2 in the world behind Felix Savon, won a silver medal at the Pan American Games. Then I went on to campaign as a heavyweight and became the heavyweight champion of the world. And I trained at 108th and Broadway in Watts, California. I always used to fight niggas that got out of prisons because they still had the weight systems back then. So I always got cats coming up to the gym wanting to fight the baddest dude in the city, and that was LAMON BREWSTER. So, you know, I would I would show them that they couldn't beat me. I would show them what a real fighter is, in terms of I trained to do this every day of my life. And so I got the respect of a lot of OGs out there when they realized this dude is just playing with me. He could have really hurt me. And so that really helped to spin my mind into trying to do something bigger than just become heavyweight champion of the world, because I've made a relationship, a friendship with these brothers that normally, if you go in their hood, they'd have a big problem with you. But now I could go to dog in there any hood in LA and just get love, just for the simple fact that as brothers, we done fought. And you always respect the dude, win, lose, or draw. But the fact that this dude
Being
played
pain.
with me, he didn't make me right.
So
I didn't make him look
daddy,
bad
you
in
bad.
front of their girlfriends.
You heard me. Mom, daddy, you bad. My
Right.
daddy from the hood, and he was known to knock a nigga out too.
That part. That part. See, if your daddy came to the gym, he'd have got humbled.
He needed somebody who was responsible to humble his ass.
Yeah. I had so many dudes from the streets that thought they could fight until they put those gloves on, and then when they realized what nobody gonna break it up and they tired, they won't fight no more.
Right?
But see, what the way I got people respect was that instead of knocking them out and beating them up, when they was tired and they wanted to quit, I wouldn't let them quit. And then I would just hit them with little bitty baby shots to show them that, look, man, I'm trying to help you. But it humbled them. Like, man, this dude been playing with me. He could have, you know what I mean? So it just gained respect and love. So, over the years, going through all the different hoods through LA, rapping with all them OGs, and then talking to all them little cats, them younger cats, man, it really showed me how much love it is in our community, and how lost our people are, in terms of lost, meaning that not realizing that we are a tribal people. We have the mindset of a democratic person. We have the mindset of a liberal, to the extent that you can do and be everything you want to do and be. But see, that ain't the way our people customarily, and I say customarily because custom, going back to culture, going back to a people that lived a certain way, that thought a certain way, that acted a certain way. And when I say act, we dealt with our own communities. We dealt with the little niggas. We dealt with them. We dealt with the girls that didn't want to do right. We policed our own people. We never needed no police. Why you need a police? You got elders. The Bible said that you supposed to have 20 elders running every community. And if we had our elders, because you remember when we was kids, It was like, shoot, you was afraid to get in trouble down the street because somebody grandma, somebody mama knew who you was, and they probably whoop you. You know what I mean? But that was my time. But the point is, we got away from that. And the reason why this world today is the way that it is because we've got away from the things that held us culturally together, because the the appetizers of the world, it seems so appealing, if you will. But you know, they say that you know, it always looked green. They say the grass always looked greener on the other side. But you know, they say because it was laid with shit at the end of the day, basically, you know. Yeah, because it takes fertilizer, it takes shit, and a lot of the things that we left our culture for was just for deceit, you
Hmm.
know, the carrot on the stick. You know, when we start valuing money more than we do life, we was
Right.
lost. You know what I mean? We was lost. But the point is, we are a tribal people. And if you know who you know you are a tribal person. So you have to think like a tribal person and deal with things as a tribe, because we don't need police for pedophiles. You know what I mean? We don't need police for rapists. We just need our communities. Why the hell I need to call a gun? I got a gun. Like,
Right.
you know what I
Right.
mean? Make it make sense at the end of the day.
Right.
So what once we come back to being a people, which is an uphill battle for us, because remember, this ain't our world. We're climbing. Well, this ain't no walk for us. We're climbing as a people to get out of our constrictions, because remember, God said that his people were gonna be servants. See, you go to church your whole life, and the damn preacher never told you you was going to be a servant until your fathers came to a land that their forefathers had never known, and as strangers, and said
Uh-huh.
you was going to be entreated. Say you was going to be entreated, meaning treated a certain way for a certain time. But then
Right.
after that, he said, I'm gonna do some things. He said, I'm gonna do some things to show you the signs that I'm gonna keep my word. COVID, heroin, white people being addicted to. Look, listen,
Israel.
hold on. No, man, listen. We heroin been on this planet for a very long time, but it just now heroin is starting to affect one specific type of people. As long as it's been on this earth, because God said after 400 years He was going to do a certain thing
Hmm.
for his name's sake. And
Right.
and so these things that are happening on the earth are all the signs of the prophecy that the end is going to come. But the end ain't the planet. The end is the world. If you understand what the world is a structure designed by a certain race of people. He said that's going to come to an end.
And they reign. Their
But
reign
see,
is
but see,
short.
Hoover already said it. Hoover said that the greatest threat to American democracy is the unity of the black man. Because see, when you got the strength of the
Thank
black
you.
man, then everybody and everything falls into place, because we have structure, because we are a tribal people. We don't
Right.
function as individuals. But see, you have to realize that
But we
they
have to do
have to.
something to our natural nature, our nature, because the nature that we're moving in is not.
No, this is not our nature. But remember, this ain't our world.
Right.
This is a world that he said we were going to be servants in. So we've been going to church all this time thinking that, oh, we're all equal and we deserve pay like them. If this was my world, I would let the people that God said is going to be your service make what I make, live where I live, eat what I eat, do what I do. I'm going to own everything and make them work. And
Yeah.
that's what we've done. But see, the whole thing is, he said that after that, those same people that you took into slavery, you're going to be made to serve them.
Right. There's gonna
So
be a Joshua generation, and we here.
right here on earth, like niggas think they're going to be up in the sky floating around with little white angels and little white babies. Hell no. Heaven and hell are your conditions. We're
Right.
living in hell right now. This is their heaven. We don't own no banks. We don't own no football teams. We don't even own our houses, because we still got to pay property tax.
Exactly.
Because if you don't pay your property tax, if you owned a $10 million house, Come on, man. Talk black to me. You know what I
Woo!
mean? But I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I realize these things about our people. And if we want this killing to stop, then we got to go back to being a tribal people. See, the thing of it is if you take a breed like pit bulls and you put them all together and they don't have anything to do, they're going to kill each other.
Right. Right. Perfect.
So, so the same thing applies to black people. Because if you put us all together in our circumstances, remember he said I'm gonna put a yoke of iron around your neck. That yoke of iron was talking about spirits. Remember, Solomon had power over, I forget how many, 72 spirits. These spirits are not good spirits. Most of them was demons. So we ain't been taught about the spiritual ramifications that was given to us in Genesis 27:28 when he told Jacob, he said, I give you the dew of heaven. The dew of heaven was the gift that Esau said that I'm going to kill my brother because he got that gift. That's the gift of the spiritual power, the Ruach HaKodesh. That's why in the Bible it said that God, the enemies of Israel said God fought for them. You know what I mean? How many black people can say, yeah, how many other nations can say God fought for black people?
Yeah.
Because he said I'm gonna turn my back on them because they won't listen to me. But if we come back to what he said, if you believe in God, now this ain't for people that don't believe in God. You know what I mean? This is for people that believe and his name is Yahweh. Because if you get the 1611 version, it says Yahweh. But what our enemies, our oppressors did was they took Yahweh and put God, Lord, and Jesus everywhere. You know what I mean? So when people, especially black people, oh, Jesus, oh, it's power in the name of Jesus. Well, what if you call him by his real name? The name that he knew when he was, so if you was walking down the street and you said Jesus, that letter didn't even exist. Oh, you think he just supposed to know that? Why do God need to know English? Make it make sense.
Right.
Like, why do God need to know a language other than the feeling and the vibration in the heart of us? Because he said, with your lips you do honor me, but your heart is far from me. So it ain't what you say, it's what you do. Because remember, when you die, you're going to be judged for your deeds.
Right.
Your deed. Not because you were good, not because you was bad, because I've had a lot of bad people do a lot of good things for me. And I've had a slew of good people do a lot of bad things to me. So this ain't about good or bad. You can't go to church and give the pastor some money, speak in whatever you call tongues, and do all that falling out, think you're going to heaven. Because God said, I don't even dwell in buildings made with the hand of man. He said, the body is the temple between your ears. That's why he said, if you read Revelations chapter 11, verse 1, he says, measure the temple. He said, measure the temple. But he said, the temple that is without, don't measure it, for it is given to the Gentiles. So the point I'm trying to make is that we are holy people with a special power given to us, but we don't know we have this power. We don't know that there is something that he wants us to do, which is to love thy brothers, thy love thyself. Because once we come back together as a people, then the power of the Ruach, the Holy Spirit, like when we was walking around the walls of Jericho, they didn't fall because of any other reason other than we was all asking upon his name, because he said, wherever two or more are gathered, there am I. So we, to the extent we're having church.
You know, I be talking about my sermons on the mic, so you go take it. Okay. T got the sermon on the mic tonight.
But we want, in order for our people to stop killing each other, it's not even about money. Money is made by our oppressor. Money is something that if they wake up tomorrow, the people that we get our jobs from, the people that God gave rulership over this earth, if we wake up tomorrow and they say $1 million is worth 50 cents, that's what it's worth. So you put your value in something that a man controls. But see, nobody can control the word of the Most High. And he said, you are a special people, a holy people. He said, above all people on the face of the earth. You can't believe that? Is God a liar? But the
Mm.
point is, I'm gonna hold him to his word because that's what he told me. That's what I read, and it don't read no different. And anything is different comes from my oppressor because he wants to write himself into our kingdom, not understanding this is his heaven. His heaven is right here. And no matter how many times he think he doing something good, no matter how many times he try to help somebody, at the end of the day, God said, I change not. And so this is their kingdom, and they've ran it their way, and they've destroyed everything about it.
Destroyed,
The earth is
destroyed.
destroyed, the air, the water, the clouds. He's everything, everything is destroyed. And so he's gonna renew this place. That's why he said he's gonna bring fire. You know what I mean?
Okay, 1 second. So I don't know what's going on with Carl. I don't know why he's not able to get in. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I can't even believe the phone is ringing. I'm just gonna try to get him in audio. Hey, so I got you live just because. See how lucky, because you know I don't get good reception. So we got you. Why we got you? He says he can. You heard everything. So if you want to chime in, um, and say anything. Yeah, I have no idea why. I sent the link. Did you want to say? You're live. I got you in here. Yes, you're just audio. We hear you. You hear right? Yes.
He sounds very faint to me.
It's faint.
Yeah, I can barely hear him.
You can barely hear. Can you? I can hear you fine, but you're right here. Can you hear? Layman, can you hear?
Yeah, I hear you good, but I can't really hear him.
Oh wow.
Tell him maybe to hang up and call back. He might just got a bad connection.
Yeah, no, I can hear. But what I want you to do is try to go on. Did you get both of the links that I sent you? Yeah, I'm on the other side now. I'm gonna copy paste it and send it directly because I tried to send it from the page. All right, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna hang up with you, and I'm going to let T continue talking, and I'm gonna try to email you. Okay, I'm about to send it right now. So, okay, I'm about to copy paste this and try to send it to him, so you can continue talking. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but he just sent the text me.
There's no interruption because it's right now. I mean, what I'm talking about is right now. So the only interrupting that we have to do as a people is interrupt our thinking, interrupt our way of doing on this as a people. So that's the only interruption. You know, this interruption is to ask our people to come back loving God according to what the words say and not what our thoughts and what our feelings.
So I just tried to send. Okay, so now let's go into the girls protecting our girls, and then after we go into that, we're gonna go back into because what you were talking about that's way more important. Not way more important. It's just as important to say that. Okay. So okay. So how are you feeling about the transgender population in sports, both the boys and the girls in competing? I don't know if you would like to take the girls first, the trans girls, the trans girls, however you want to start. But I want your take, and then I'll chime in.
Well, I mean, which one are you most interested in hearing about? I'll tell you about all of them. Pick
Really,
one.
because both of them have a lot of challenges, and both of them I have issues with. As far as the females with the safety, and in both arenas. The natural females having to compete with the transgender males, and then the the transgender boys who are actually the females trying to compete with the natural boys. which I just think it's dangerous.
Yeah, that would make sense. If I understood what you said, if you transgender, then you compete only with transgender people.
So is that would be the remedy to you?
Yeah, I think that would be the women too, because the simple fact that we all know that men, when it comes to physical things, we have greater strength than women, and so I don't like to see a woman getting tackled. I don't like to see a woman getting slammed by a man because it's so much more force. It would be different if she uh, wasn't a woman, but just for the simple fact that the man got the Y chromosome, he innately is just stronger than another woman. I mean, than a woman. And not to say that the mentality of a woman wouldn't be as strong or stronger, because women are the most determined people on the world and on earth. That's why we still here as a nation. But the point I'm trying to make is that when you take a woman versus a man in any type of physical, you know what I mean? I don't like it. I don't like it. It goes against the word of God, number one, who I believe, and y'all can kiss my, but I'm not gonna go to hell because I care about your feelings. God said I'm not a respected person, so I just do what God say. And if you got a problem with what I say, take that up with God. Don't bring that shit here, and you don't want to bring it here at all.
Well, you did not talk about. Okay, so so that's the physical aspect as far as actually
Exactly.
having to be in physical contact. What about as far as just competing like the swimming? Is so like the I think we kind of went over the where the boy would
Mhm.
competed in swimming as a male and he didn't rank, and then he transgender um, ranked five, and then fifth, and he tied for fifth place. And then they decided to give him the trophy, being politically correct. And of course, the girl and her family was appalled. And of course, I'm like, what? But yeah, so what's your take on that?
My take on it is that it's wrong, because at the end of the day, transgender or not, still a boy. Period. I mean, period. If you born with something between your legs and you can pee and shake it, you a boy. So at the end of the day, uh, just physically, the strength that a man has to a female in competitions, whether it's contact or no contact, is not fair. And anybody that wants to do it, you're on some bullshit. That's just, and you're gonna be judged by the Most High God. It ain't for me to tell you you wrong or not, but it's just what it is.
Yeah.
Not because I said it, because God said it, and I believe in God, and so I stand on what His words say.
Okay, so what about the transgender, that they want to actually be, compete with boys. Um, I would say, how do we approach that with our girls? Because again, they want to whatever. And again, how do you feel about? Let me back this up. Initially, especially because their brains are not completely developed. That's why sex is not even supposed to be talked about without a note and all this stuff. What do you think about even allowing them to be transgender before they turn 18 and their brain is fully developed? That's a little bit off, but I'm in the mental health of a girl who wants to wrestle or do mixed martial arts against a boy because she's a transgender. She identifies as a female.
And you said it's a girl that want to identify against a boy?
She
I
wants
mean,
to,
I'm sorry, she's a girl that wants to identify as a boy that wants to compete in like mixed martial arts.
yes, and wrestling, and they want to compete with boys.
Okay, well, again, I don't think that it's right, and I don't think it should be allowed. But I'll say this much: it's different than uh, a boy wanting to compete with a girl than it is for a girl to want to compete with a boy. Because here's the thing: if you know that there's a greater danger and you still want to do it, and
So,
on top of that, you want to defy the word of God, well, go ahead. But don't
right,
don't look for sympathy.
right.
Don't look for sympathy if the worst happens to you. Like, that's what I say. Because if you know better, you do better. So obviously you don't know better. So people trying to tell you, and I'm sure there's an inkling of doubt in your mind somewhere. If you don't want to follow that, go ahead. But just know you're gonna meet somebody like me, and they didn't
Nobody.
call me relentless for nothing. And the last thing I'm ever gonna do is let a woman whoop my, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that ain't gonna happen.
Okay. So yeah, and I'm just thinking it's really dangerous. The other incident that I'm off top, and I decided not to bring the specifics and the names just because another sister who was coming on who's interested in running for office again was saying, it's a touchy conversation in Georgia. But so the volleyball is once again it was a transgender boy, girl, whatever, boy playing volleyball with the girls, and he was able to change with them, and he was making comments about their body parts. Okay, and then he hit the ball, served the ball so hard that it hit the girl in the head, and then she fell to the ground and got a concussion. And yeah, so what, like stuff like that, like what do you think about that? And again, to me, if you are hitting a ball or serving a ball that hard, why? Why are you serving the ball that hard?
Because they want to win. I mean, think about it. You couldn't compete with men, so you go compete with women. And so you can hit the ball that hard because women can't hit the ball, they can't block like that. So again, we're talking about the use like this physical that a man has, this natural strength. Like God made us protectors of you. You know what I mean? Like like when
Like,
somebody's trying to break in the house, I'm not gonna go hide under the sheet with you. I'm gonna go and do what I gotta do. You know what I mean? Like it's asinine. Like to even have the conversation about should a man compete with a woman or should a woman compete with a man? Because let's just look back at history. How many women you saw dead on the battlefields of World War I, World War II?
right.
You
And
know what
even
I
in
mean?
the military, they're not going to go to war. They're in the washing clothes and on the ships and serving
And
people.
when
I was playing.
when a man is playing, and I guess I'm only speaking for me, and when a man is competing in a sport, he's competing with his heart.
Mm,
His heart is the alpha male, you know what I mean, or just a male to win.
right.
Like we supposed to win for the woman. The woman ain't supposed, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I don't care how you look at it. I don't care if you put it in a dress. I don't care if you give it hormones. It's still a man. So at the end of the day, we can have a conversation about anything as it relates to people purposes in terms of wanting to compete in sports, but it's still a man. No matter how you look at it, no matter what sport, even in playing pool, women don't even compete with pool and in pool with men. Now it ain't that they can't beat them because I've been beat by several women and it hurt my pride. But at the end of the day,
Just
but
as
at
it
the end,
was guy.
right, I know. But at the end of the day, I'm a man, and so I can still, as a man, there are certain things my strength gives me an advantage over when it pertains to a woman. So that whole competition thing, even if they the same size, a man that's 130 pounds is going to be way stronger than a woman 130 pounds. A woman that's 200 pounds is going to be way weaker than a man 200 pounds. So at the end of the day, it's still a man. And so when you ask these questions, like my thought is to protect a woman, even if she don't want to protect herself. You know what I mean? Because in the end, she is going to eventually meet somebody that has a killer instinct like me, and I'm going to try to hurt anybody to get in front of me in any sport. Because that's what a competitive mind does. Not because it's a woman, not because it's a man, but because that's what I don't know what you call it, man. I'm a male lion. I'm a male. I'm an alpha male, and anybody that tries to compete with me in anything, it's life or death. woman or not, and I'm gonna use all my strength to win. You know what I
Right.
mean? If I'm playing football, I ain't gonna come around the corner and see, oh, she about to throw the ball. I'm a linebacker. I want my team to win. I'm gonna try to hit her so hard like everybody else and try to put her out of the game.
Yeah.
So why in the world would you want to compete with a dude that's crazy, man?
Right.
Because
Right.
people that play sports like them football, man, we should get so hype on the field. We was crazy. You know what I mean? See what? And if I'm gonna play with a woman on the field, I'm gonna try to hurt her every single time because there's no way she's supposed to compete with me. I'm gonna hit her extra hard just because I'm a man and I want to show my dominance. Like you know how we beat our chest. How
This,
many women beat their chest over? You know what I mean? So it's that whole. It's much greater than the sexes. It's something that is interwoven inside of us that drives us to win. And we ain't gonna let no woman compete with us. Like that's not cool. Okay, maybe race car driving or something like that.
ping pong, right?
Yeah, ping pong. Hey, you know what?
Ping pong.
Even
None of
even
y'all
shooting.
with ping pong.
Even maybe shooting guns. Like there's been plenty of
Oh
good
yeah,
sniper
yeah.
women. I mean, there are a lot of great things that women excel at. No, absolutely. But I'm saying when it comes to physical competitions, I just don't believe that a woman should be allowed to compete with a man, even if she wants to, because of her body ain't made to be hit like that. Her
So
body ain't made to be able to. What's that?
my question is, so you and I agree with this, and most parents agree with this. Why do you think the schools have all of a sudden decided that this is okay? Because again, the children's brains are not fully developed, and they have not allowed it to go into. So, who has decided? Who's allowed this to happen? Where did it start? And again, I asked this today: is America now the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah? But even with that, that's such a whatever.
Read
I want to
Revelations,
know
Mystery Babylon.
who okayed it and when did they okay it and when did it become? Because again, I remember there was a point where girls
The
wanted to
wicked
play basketball and then they ended up making girls basketball because they didn't even want the girls to compete with the guys. They had to have lower basket and all that. So again, where did we go wrong when we decided that is that girls can't, yeah, girls can have girls sports and compete with each other like you said? When did we cross these lines? When did the lines get blurred? Because it seemed like it just happened in the last maybe 2 years or 3 years. Or, okay, I win. You know?
the problem is that you still believe that we have equality in this world as a nation. Black people, Indian people, Hispanic people, maybe not all Hispanics, some are more conquistadors, but the
Exactly.
point is, but the point is, our people, um, we don't have a say so in this world. So when you were saying we, I'm like, who's the we? No, them, the people
But when
the
did
people, the
they
people.
slip it in then? Because I thought we voted
Well,
on stuff like
well,
this.
so remember the Bible in Psalms 83. It says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, which means
Mm,
nationality. It
right.
said, it said that these people are confederate against thee. They are the one, these confederate people are the ones that make the laws. They are the ones that write the rules. And remember, it said we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. You
Politics.
know, so the
Yeah.
things that we're against, because at the end of the day, what we don't realize because we've been taught by a tell lie vision is that it's fate and it's fairy tales. So the things that actually happen according to our lives, we also think that it's fake and it's fairy tale, but there are actually spirits on this earth that are for good and for bad. And there are people that possess a bad spirit that want to do the will of their father, which is to sodomy, what do you say, Sodom and Gomorrah. And so if God exists, then the devil must exist because you can't have one without the other. For every action, there's a reaction. For every up, there's a down, an in, an out, a left, or right. So if you got good, you got bad. And so if you got God, you definitely got the devil. But you have to realize that the devil's also controlling a certain race of people. And the Bible says you judge people by their works. What have they? I was just reading tonight. We've been at war 94% of the time that we've been a nation. 94% of the time we've been in war. You know what I mean? Like
Probably
like like
established this
we
before.
but
Obviously.
well, I'm just saying that we are not in control, and the people that want this uh this lifestyle to be accepted, these are different people, because that don't come from our people, because our people wouldn't accept that. I mean,
Right.
even when we was growing up, you could be open like that. It became law because somebody with money wanted it to become a law. Well, we know that's not our people. Our people just kept it in the closet and worked it out with God. But when you allow it to be free, then you put doubt in the minds of other people, and you change the route, you change the course that people are supposed to go, because they are impregnated to an extent with this negativity, this negative thinking, which weighs on our spirits.
So what do you think about? Because this is what has always puzzled me. I just want your opinion about it. Magic Johnson. So supposedly have full blown AIDS, and his son. And again, those two factors right there, the two things. And then really feel like how you were saying, like our children are seeing Magic Johnson, his son, how he's been able to move around, how he's moving around. And then you have oh boy, and Gabriel and his son, and and how now he's not even he's barely making puberty, and he's supposed to be what is he, 15, and they're doing reverse hormones, and they putting him on and got him on the cover of Vogue, and this little boy, he's a transgender. It's like I feel like it's child abuse. I'm gonna say that off the top. Now, Magic, his son was an adult when he started dressing up and doing all that stuff. But I feel like number one, Gabrielle Union is not that child's son. And after she came out talking about how she looks booty and all that, how dare she even interfere with raising that child? Period. So I stand with that little boy's mother that said no, wait till he's 18, because his brain is not fully developed, and there are a number of transgender boys of all races and nationalities who are devastated now. Okay, 2-3 years later, they talk about how they had that stuff with women, trans girls remove their breasts, devastated. Men remove their penises to be girls. Now they're 21, 22, devastated. And wish that somebody would have told them to wait, because again, you may be gay, not transgender, okay, and you're removing whole body parts. Again, let me back that up. I'm back up out of here. Magic and his son, I feel like, opened that industry door. You understand me? Like, as far as it's so okay, and for us, you know what I mean?
Well, let me just say this to you, and I appreciate what you just said, and I wanna respond to that. Number one, as the words say, choose ye who you serve this day.
Right.
And so remember, the devil can bless people too. Because remember, he took Christ up and he told Christ, if you bow to me, I'll give you everything that you see. So if our people, who is a holy people, a special people above all people on face of the earth, Deuteronomy 7:6, the only people he made a covenant with, if we do things that is appeasing to the worker of iniquities, then they can bless us with the wealth of the world. So at the end of the day, they have chosen who they serve, because the God of Israel would never allow them or their children to do these things. But remember, he said he give you over to strong delusion. So if you want to believe upon a lie, God actually allows you to do that, because it ain't that they haven't been taught, oh man, that's wrong. But the money, the fame, These are things that the devil strives for, the things that he gives to people. That's why our people can make so much money by putting our people down, because they're doing the work of of their father. Like I say, there is a there's a heavenly father, and there's a there's a father of hell. But at the point I'm trying to make is that they didn't choose God, because there's nowhere in the Bible where God would be okay with that. You can't justify it by using God's words against him unless you bring in death against yourself. So the point I'm trying to make is Yahweh, Bahashima Mashak Yahweh Shah, is not for that. They've sold their soul. And that's all. I mean, listen, I love Magic. I love Magic for what he overcame, for facing. I love him for everything he did. Dwayne Wade, I thought he was a great basketball player. I don't know him as a person, but the Bible says to judge. The Bible says you can judge. People always talking about don't judge me. The Bible says to judge, but to judge righteously. So in righteous judgment, according to the word, I'm trying to tell you, God has said choose who you're gonna choose to serve this day. They've chosen who they chose. I ain't gonna be mad at them, because that's your choice. I'm just not gonna go your way. I'm going to do my best to do what he told me to do, which is to be a shepherd to his sheep. And so I'm not going to lead my people according to his word in that direction.
Right.
Is that simple. So
and I love that you said that. I love that you said that. Not only am I not going to, but what I am going to do is lead my people in the opposite direction. So let me add on to that. That is what our plea is with our brothers and sisters out there. Again, people are going to choose which way they're going to go, but we have to be steadfast and lock arms with one another, because even if we're small numbers, we are powerful.
We've always been small. He said, I chose you not because you was more than any people. He said, for you were the fewest people. But because but because I made a covenant with your father, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons that he said was going to be scattered around the world that went into to captivity, and they was going to be treated a certain way. And the way they was going to be treated can be read in Deuteronomy 28, 28, what's it? Deuteronomy 28, verse 15 through 68. And he said, if you have been treated this way, you are of the children of Israel. And so that's what I know.
Okay. And again, y'all need to, don't be getting caught up in the riches of the world and all that stuff. Because trust and believe me, I know a gang of celebrities who have had a lot and fell down. People are famous and broke as hell. So again, you better be worried about your salvation, your spirit. And again, you better be worried about protecting them children that you gave birth to, those children in your community, because that is the most important thing that's going on right now. It's protecting children. Okay.
Let me throw this into what you're saying, a precept upon that. If you notice, money is a defense, as the Bible says. So the people that got money, God ain't even worried about, because they have their riches. They have their God. They have this world. This world is based on money. That's why our God is killing their God. That's why there are banks and we got war. And America, the world would never be what it used to be, because the Most High God said that after the 400 years, what he was going to do, he said, I'm going to bring, matter of fact, you can read it. They took it out the Bible in 2nd Esdras. If you read 2nd Esdras chapter 15, 1 through, I think, 63, it tells you everything God said he was going to do in the world after the 400-year curse that just ended in 2019. Don't believe me. Just read it for yourself. Everything he said was going to happen. Wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places. I mean, man, everything he said is happening right now on the earth. And so when you talk about this movement, the only reason why the Black Panthers, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Huey P. Newton, and a whole slew of other people were not able to lead our people, because God said that until that 400-year curse was up, I was only going to let people come on this earth to give you a sign in which way to go, because they left us with a feeling of what we should do and the way we should go. But now that the curse is up, now we can work together as brothers and sisters. Now that we can take that yoke of iron off our neck that he told He told Esau in Genesis chapter 27, verse 39 and 40, when he blessed him with the sword, which is the modern day gun, which is how they've taken every continent. He said, that's how you would live. I give you the fatness of the earth, meaning everything good about it. And then he said that when you have dominion, which means rulership, he said, when you have dominion, you should break the yoke of iron from off thy brother's neck. But if you go back to Genesis 27:28 and read down, he says that your brothers should come to serve you. So that's telling you that the kingdom that is coming on earth, since Ham had his kingdom, Japheth is having his kingdom. And if Japheth breaks down to the Roman Empire, and if you read more into it, there's Eskenaz. That's why it's Eskenazi. They've had their rulership on earth. But he said, when the 400 years is up, he said, I'm going to destroy this place with fire. So this is what he said, not me. And see, the only reason why Kyrie Irving and Kanye West and these people got in trouble is because they disobeyed the word of God when they try to use their own tone, their own thinking to describe. God said that you use my words. All they had to say was based upon what the Bible says. This is why I feel the way that I feel. And then all them demons, all them devils, and everybody that came against him would have to go against God, but they're afraid to, just like they won't say his name Yahweh.
Right.
Nations, nations outside of Israel will not say the name Yahweh because they won't live long, or they'll wish they was dead. But don't take my word for it. Don't listen. I just know who that them scriptures was written for. It's not a book. They call it the Holy Bible because it's for a holy people. That's why he said we are a holy people above all people on the face of the earth. But you want me to be ashamed to say that my God called me holy? My God said that I was a God. My God said that people gonna come serve me. You want me to be afraid to feel like? Why would the hell would I be afraid to feel that way? Like, just tell me that. Tell
No,
me why did I should I come, man, listen,
no,
talk
ain't.
back to me.
I'm talking about no shame. And again, this is you get to partake and be a part of this. But again, my people, you have to turn from your wicked ways and make a choice and a decision. Who are you going to serve? Who are you going to serve? And again, the least of us are the children, and especially when we have these people out here who are trying to turn them against the truth and against their nature and against some of the mothers and fathers.
He
They
can't
will
whoop it.
to go against us if we don't agree with the sin, the
Right,
lies, the
right,
deception. So
right.
we have to be strong enough, sensible enough, and really sacrificial enough. Because again, I've sacrificed a lot because I refuse to do plenty of stuff in this industry. And again, they've taken it from you can't be in the industry if you don't want to do certain things. So now you bringing it in our homes and trying to twist our children up and take our children from us. No, no, no. We're not allowing it. And again, y'all got to be strong enough and wise enough and steadfast enough to know that you cannot give your children over to these systems. Okay. Again, what's that boy name? You said his name. What's his name? Gabriel, the man with the child.
Oh, Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, Mr. Dwayne Wade, brother. I stand with your ex-wife. And again, you need to not be putting your son out there like that. You know what I'm saying? And you
Oh,
money because you're doing that for money, brother. And you need to not. You need to allow him to get some therapy to make sure again because he doesn't have the right to make that decision. You as his father, you have the right, and you're making wicked decisions or allowing him to make adult decisions that are wicked and you're agreeing to it, and then you're putting him before the masses in this state as a trans, like you're letting your black son be the poster boy for transgender. Why?
he telling
Why?
you
You need to
he's
ask
telling you who
yourself
he
why.
served.
I'm talking to him.
He
Why?
telling you who he served. He's telling you who he served.
And I'm telling you that you better turn from your wicked ways, brother, because it's not okay. And again, you're going to pay for doing that to your son. Okay. And your son is going to hate you when he figures out and finds out that he was a ploy. Period. I
He's
mean,
telling you.
that to all you parents, because again, it's one thing when you call yourself just trying to make sure that your child is not being mistreated or you're not being whatever. It's another thing when you're putting them out there like that and selling them out. That's called pimping your child, pimping them to the industry. In fact,
It's a sacrifice. It's a
yeah,
sacrifice.
it's a
It's
sacrifice.
it's like
And it's
Christ
not
taking that knee. It's like Christ taking that knee. If he would have took that knee up there and to when he was before Satan being tempted, it was like taking a knee. Dwayne Wade took a knee, and so he's rewarded. And there's no way around that. At the
But
end
you
of
know
the day,
what, Dwayne Wade, you can change your mind, and that's to all of y'all. Whatever, all my brothers and sisters out there, whatever it is, because I mean that's the extreme, that's the industry. But when we come back down to earth and it's a regular, everyday folk like that, I like to talk to. I like to talk to my everyday people. You also do not let these schools intimidate you and bully you into allowing your child to be, what do you call it, experimental and this and that. Your child's brain, and I have a degree in child development, okay? So your child brain does not develop fully until they're 18, okay?
mm,
Some of them brains are not fully developed until they're 21. That
well,
means that the decisions and choices that they make at 15 are pretty much infantile because their brain
mm,
is still in the stage of development. So again, it's your fault if you allow them to make bad decisions, and then 10 years later, when it comes back to bite you again, yes, you have to be held responsible because you should have made the conscious decision that you were going to say no to your child. Yeah, you want to dress whatever, but you're not taking hormone pills. You're not doing anything like that because again, you let the hormones kick in while their brain is being developed. And again, a 14-year-old who thinks they're gay is not a 21-year-old who might be like, no, I just kind of, whatever. Even a girl might, like you said, experiment, but you start having her mastectomies and, doing all this, whatever, just praising her for being a transgender and all this stuff that you're just like trying to celebrate. Again, we are holy people, so we're not celebrating all this dysfunction with these folks. Okay. And again, it's not about fitting in. It's not about being down. It's not about being accepted. It's about where are you going to be when this flesh is gone? Where's your spirit going? Are you going into everlasting? Because
praise.
again, you can have this limited time here on this planet, okay? Or you can live forever and ever and ever, okay? And that's reality. That's real. That's real. That's real. And if you don't think that is real, remember when you close your eyes, those dreams. Those dreams are as real as the afterlife gets. Okay, so that's spirit. That's all a realm that you will never see if you decide that this world and these riches right now are what matter. Okay, because there is something that matters, and it is not like the brother said. It ain't money. It ain't status. It ain't popularity. What it is your salvation, your soul, and what you leave as legacy here. Because again, God is coming back for a righteous people, and we have a wonderful earth to inherit. And like you said, these people have destroyed this beautiful Eden. So we need to be taking ourselves black to Eden, okay, and living off the foundation of this earth, okay, and understanding that in fact we are the chosen people. So let them have their riches. Let them have their day. Because there was a man, the man just died, that was a couple of weeks ago, right? The richest man in Africa. He had all, he buried with all this gold and stuff. And yeah, he wasn't even, was he 50? I don't even think the man was 50 yet.
Mm.
All the money, all the gold, he had all this stuff, and he wanted some of it buried with him. How ridiculous. Okay? How ridiculous. So again, you better start thinking about your soul. And again, I know y'all like to say, oh, that's because you get old. No, I've been talking the same talk for 15 years. So it ain't, no, I've been old. I got an old spirit. The reality is I've had to say no. I've had to make decisions. I've sacrificed. And again, y'all better start sacrificing for these babies and stop trying to get, whatever you're doing with these accolades or, also some of you parents are just really trying to be friends with your children. And again, you have to stand up to your children, especially these little teenagers, and be like, look, whatever, you need to focus on things that matter. Okay, and that's what we start off with our children. Anytime I hear a child, because I've had foster children and everybody else with, oh, I might be gay, I might be this, I might be. It's like, first of all, if we focus on what matters, then we don't have to worry about who you want to sleep with at 15 or
That
14.
part.
Okay, what's your GPA? Okay, okay, that's what matters to me. Want to learn how to drive? Okay, I don't want to talk about how your hot little coochie because you finally got a little bump up here. Okay, no, again, and now all of a sudden you gay. You went from going into puberty to now I'm gay. Even with a boy, with a little boy. I mean, again, you're gonna let a boy just barely turn 13, 14 and then decide, oh, I want to be a girl? No, that's not okay. And again, we are going to help hold you accountable. Even if your child can't hold you accountable, we are going to be looking at you when the child commits suicide. Okay, because again, that is, they said that what is as a 90% of these people who actually go through it. 90%. That's a high number of suicide, attempted suicide for a small group of people. That's a lot. So again, that's what you put in your child. That's the the circumstances that you're putting your child in, where they're facing mental illness beyond the mental illness that they're already dealing with, okay, because their brain is still developing and they're a little confused. Then you send them all the way into psychosis when you have them, at 21 with a double mastectomy or no penis, wondering why in the world did their parent allow them to do that. Okay, and I'm going there and I'm being graphic because again, you need to think about these things before you just fly off and say, oh, well, society says it's okay, so I guess I just gotta, accept my son or my daughter being transgender. You do not have to accept that. You do not have to. What you need to do, like I said, is go get that child some therapy, okay, and tap into their what their hobbies. And again, if a boy is more whatever, like again, we're not talking about gay or straight. We're talking about where children are being fed hormone pills and be actually trying to stop and change their natural gender. And again, the psychological and the physical trauma that they go through, and doing these kind of surgeries and going through these kind of transitions way before they should, because even adults commit suicide once they do it. So of course, children are going to have a hard time dealing with that kind of change and transition and not being able to go back. And again, parents, be responsible and stand up to teachers, stand up to doctors. Don't let anybody bully you into going with the world and the world's ways, because that is your child and that is your responsibility. And like I said, God is going to make you hold account of what you did with the child that he blessed in your womb, the seed of your loins. Okay, you two people are responsible for that child until they turn 18. It's what on number one, the decision making, because you all as parents would never say, oh, he's acting kind of feminine, so I want him to be a girl. That no, you wouldn't do that. So just because he does it as a 13-year-old, you don't go along with it. You talk to him, get him therapy, let him go. And then again, when he turned 18, if he says that that's his choice, you may not like it or whatever. But that would be his choice, and it would not be on you at that point. But it's on you when you got a child. And again, when we go back to the sports, let's go back to the sports. You have a boy that wants to be a girl. You're responsible if he's the one with the volleyball making somebody fall and get a concussion. You as a parent, because you the one who told him it was okay to be transgender. Okay, running with that school, who's telling you that you okay, yeah, if you say so, we'll roll with you. Blah blah blah. So again, it all is going right on back to who? Mom and dad. Okay, and you are responsible. And so you need to take that responsibility seriously. And you need to consider my child, my daughter, your neighbor's daughter, okay, when your son wants to do this, okay? Okay.
I'm with you. I'm
I'm
with you
gonna,
100%.
I was
I just
going with it, but I had to get all of mine out.
no, I love that because we're talking about what's going to happen when the day come when a girl gets killed, fighting with a boy or wrestling with a boy. She get her neck broke. You know, like these are some very serious things that we have to consider. And again, I just try to keep in mind that we are not, as a people, as a nation, a nationality, we are not in our kingdom. This is not our kingdom. This is the kingdom of the people that God said that He was going to allow to rule over us. And this is a result of their ruling. They're the ones that saying that, because if you get our people together, we wouldn't agree to this. Yeah, you have some, obviously Dwayne Wade or whatnot, but our people collectively would not agree to this, and then, and like we had said earlier, if it is going to be so, then it should only be transgenders competing against transgenders. It should
I
not be.
love that. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, yeah,
And I wish Carl could be on here because again, he is dealing with the mixed martial arts, and I really wanted to know how, his take on that. And also, I just want to know: are the transgender girls actually wrestling with boys or whatever? Not wrestling, but
yeah. They are actually competing with them.
and
And
that's so crazy.
but this, like I say, it's a sign of the times, because this is by rule of our oppressors, and we have to obey what our oppressors say that is okay. That it's okay. I mean, I just don't think it's cool at all. This isn't the way that in my world, in my nation, I don't want my people to feel that it's okay to live this way, because this is contrary, this is contrary to walk with God. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And I can't do anything. And I always come back to God, because that's all I've ever had. I mean, money's going to come, money's going to go, success is gonna come, success is gonna go, all that. But at the end of the day, God is my foundation, so I'm always gonna stand on that. And according to what I have read and what I overstand, because under's not been enough.
yeah,
Uh, this is this is not okay with the Most High, and I feel sorry for those who think it is, and then for those who justify, like I say, He sends strong delusions. So if people want their kids to compete, even though they call themselves loving God, well then you have to love Him according to His word, not your thoughts and feelings, because He said, "I'm not a respecter of persons." But at the end of the day, I totally disagree that women compete with men, or men compete with women. It just shouldn't be, just for so many reasons.
I agree. Absolutely. I think so. We beat that up. We beat that
Yeah,
up pretty bad. Look at, wait a minute.
yeah.
Case closed. I just did that because we didn't get anybody else in here. Oh, we
It's
did.
all good. It's all good.
No, we really, because I made sure that, because the Thursdays are usually 7 to 7:30, but since we're
Mhm.
having a full build here, we still
Yeah,
got.
but it's just a good time, and everything happens for a reason. Remember that. Nothing. He said, "I knew you before you was in the womb." So He planned your life from beginning to end, and not the other way around. He didn't make it up on the way. He already had your end planned. So this whole conversation right here was meant to happen, just so, if nothing else, that you and me can break bread and have that vibe. I call it.
I am so proud to have you as my friend. Not proud, because that's not, pride is not a good thing. I am so blessed and honored again to have you as my friend. And y'all, this is my friend, okay? And I can't. I mean, I have other friends. I got a couple of other friends, but this is my friend. This is gonna be my friend forever and ever and ever and ever.
Forever, forever,
And I'm so
forever.
proud of him for just the clarity of thought and being able to bring a good message. And we're gonna be calling on you because again, if had
No,
I known
please.
that you was gonna come strong like this, I'd have been calling on you a long time ago. Okay, because I need you. I need the balance,
Yes, ma'am.
and we need you. We need
Yes, ma'am.
the reason. We need the clarity. We need the God. We need it. But this our nation is falling apart because we don't have men of God. And
Yeah.
that's, we don't have good, righteous men of God. We have men, we got strong men, we got smart men, but we don't have
Hmm.
men who put God first. And like I said, when you can come through and make sure that you're putting God first,
Yeah.
right there, I
Yeah.
am humbled. I'm blessed to be in your presence. You got it where I ain't cursed all night. See, I usually be up in here cursing and everything. Real bad.
Ain't no, hey, listen,
My
ain't no
people
wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with expressing yourself. You know what I mean? Because my action can be way worse than my words. So it's better that I give you my words than for me. It's better that I give you my words than I give you my action. So when I say something, I speak on conviction. You know what I mean? And a lot of people they get these curse words all mixed up. You telling me I could put on some panties as a man and be accepted as as whatever I want, but I can't curse.
right, right.
Like make it make sense. You know what I mean?
And then
Like
there's
like
always a special standard for me. That's why I be cussing everybody out because it's like y'all not gonna hold me to
it's
all this. I
it's
can't
it's
just
not cursing.
I can't
It's
curse.
it's
I can't curse neither.
it's not cursing. Remember, words are spells. That's why it's
Right,
called spelling.
right.
They've taught you how to think. They've taught you how to feel. You're not cursing, you're expressing yourself, and there's a difference. Look up the dictionary definition
But
of
you know what my
expression.
grandmother always told me: an ignorant person doesn't know how to choose their words wisely. And again, I know how to pick and choose my words, but sometimes I know me, and I know why my grandmother would tell me that because yeah, you choosing when you want to choose your words. You
See,
choosing when you want to be right. You
I,
know,
I,
sometimes you just don't want to be right. you know,
I got to tell you something though. I got to tell you something. That he said there's no new thing, and so what DNA means is that somebody in another city, in another state, in another country, at another time, did and said everything you did and said. That's why he says nothing new under the sun. We are the greatest representatives of our ancestors. And
right.
so all you're doing is representing our ancestors. And I
One of
respect you. I
right.
love you. And I want you, see, the whole thing is when you got a puzzle, you got all these different shapes, but every piece has a place on this board. And so I got a saying, get in where you fit in, and if you can't stand, sit in.
Okay.
So I say all that because you call it cursing, but I call it expressing yourself because you can talk and say words that are not curse words and sound dumb as hell. Or you can curse and people know exactly what you mean. Because when my daddy cursed, you know exactly what he meant. But when he wouldn't cursing, like man, you ignorant as heck. No.
Need you to bring that back in some cuss words. So I can be clear
Well,
with
they not curse words. What do you okay, so you want me to accept these words as curse words, right? So what
well,
do
no,
you call what do you call a person that wants to be something other than who God made them? Ain't nothing wrong with that. But yet there's something wrong with curse words, a word that's made by a man.
right,
Make it make sense.
right. I'm just saying for the sake of being able to have self discipline.
Listen, you got to think about what your cup of tea is, because I don't want nobody sipping from my tea if they ain't my flavor.
You know what, y'all is language is giving me permission to act the fool. Okay, so y'all heard him give me permission to act the fool.
No, listen. When you die, do you want people to know you for being somebody other than who you are? I want people when I
So,
die, I want people to know me for who I am.
be too long. They know me well. I mean,
Well,
what I do. I'm gonna say this. What I'm working on as I am maturing and I'm getting older, I'm working on again refinement and being able to be disciplined enough where I know how to talk strong without even using any cuss words. You know what I mean? So again, I just from I mean any spell words, I can cast spells without using profanity because
I'm gonna respect you for who you
I
are.
use pretty profound words. Trust me, I'll be like, "What the whole motherfucking hell, my nigga?"
Okay, if that's the way hey, listen, if that's the way you feel, that's the way you feel. I'm gonna identify with you according to what you show me, not according to the standards set by somebody who never loved me.
Like I said, he giving me permission to act the whole fool, y'all. So
No, you giving you permission because this is the
no,
way you feel. I mean, if this way, listen, man. Does a leopard change his spots?
What is he down here saying? Speak your truth, sis. However you come across to others is their problem. Oh, okay.
That part. That
Hey,
part. If they, what he say? What he say?
it's
It
really
says
don't to give me permission because he done heard me cut all the way up. Listen,
listen. It Hey, the Bible say if they won't receive you, it said when you leave that city or that town or you leave that house, it says shake the dust off your boots and keep
so,
moving because that ain't your cup of tea.
right.
Find your tea and sip from it. Yeah, because I want to be around people that can accept me for. I want to be around people that can accept me for me. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, don't try to change me
Because
because I don't fit your agenda.
I into myself and and I tell people ahead of time, thank you for loving me in spite of me. Because I am
Well,
going to be me.
don't. I wouldn't go there. Because when you say in spite of you, it's just saying that you ain't their cup of tea. It don't make them better than you. It don't
Well,
make you better than them. It just
sometimes I
makes
know
you
my
who
own
you are.
politics. Sometimes I know that I disappoint myself because I know me.
And we
I
all do.
too far.
We all do. You know what makes a champ? You know what makes a champion?
I'm listening.
What makes you a champion is not how many times you fall, but how many times you get up.
Right. Well,
And
I
so
always get
and
back up.
so when you make a mistake, you can think of it as I took a knee or I failed or but you get up and keep going and
And one
don't
thing
reflect on
I
it.
don't have
Just
no
build.
problem with admitting when I make a mistake, and I don't have no problem with apologizing. And I
Yeah.
only apologize if I'm sincere. If I ain't
Pride is the
sincere,
downfall of man.
yeah,
I said pride is the downfall of man. You
yeah.
can't love your brother.
I don't deal with pride. That's why I said I'm so proud of you, and I said no, I'm gonna take that back because that ain't what it's not about pride. It's about just really, like I said, I adore you. I think that you are really
No, well,
great.
thank you. Hey, the same. The same that look, I'm showing you a mirror back to you because we both, you know, hey man, we was kids, man. We to turn out the way we did compared to all our other friends and family, man, we in a good place. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
Yeah. That's why he said many are called, few are chosen. So look at where we began and look at where we at. You know what I mean? And look at what we talking about. We both talking about the same thing because
right,
he's both giving us the same spirit. I call it the
right,
vibration of understanding when two people or three people or a million people come together and they under the same feeling, which is the vibration. It ain't
right,
what you say, it's how what you say make me feel according
right.
to your vibration, the frequency. So I call it the vibration of understanding.
Okay, okay, we gonna be here all night. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so I won't. Oh, I'm gonna call you
Hmm?
because I it's late out there. I'm gonna call you after the holidays. Give you your time with your family, and then I'm gonna try to get you back in here. I would love for
I'm
you
here.
on the
I'm
30th.
here.
The 30th is my birthday, so I would
The
love
30th of December.
next Friday.
Wow, that's what's up. That's what's up. Well, hey, girl, you know how many times I've been hitting the head?
I know yours. They took the 4th of June.
Hey, my fifth. See. So my the 5th of June, June 5th. Yep. See,
Okay, well, I was at least I know the month and I want
hey,
to take
listen. My joke with people is that I keep my ID in my wallet so I can remember my own name.
so silly.
I mean, some days is harder than other days, but I have the mindset and mentality of a fighter and I fight. I fight small, I fight big, I hold on, I take a knee. You know what I mean? I do whatever I gotta do to stay in this fight. But at the end of the day, we just gotta continue to encourage each other and lift each other up because he said wisdom is the principal thing. With all that getting, get understanding. And so we just gotta continue to have these conversations and lift each other up and help each other to go the way we're supposed to go so we can do what we're supposed to do.
Okay. Last thing I want to say is give your wife a wonderful hug. Tell Mrs. Brewster that I said thank you for allowing us to have you for
Oh
this.
yeah. Oh yeah, you know, she, hey, trust me, she good. She probably happy ain't in there talking her ears out. No, I was kidding. But you know, it's all good. You know.
Next time, y'all should come if she could come in. I don't know her personality or her personality, so I don't know. But if she wants to come in and feel, I would love that. I would love that because I know she has to be dynamic and beautiful and just brilliant as you are. So would love to have her in the building too if that's her thing.
Well, I
Yeah,
tell you,
you
she's the opposite. She the opposite of me. If I don't talk to her, we won't even talk. I'll be like, "Do you hate me?" No, I was kidding. She quiet. She shy.
Oh, so she might not even want to get. Well, like I said, she's more than welcome, and thank
No,
her.
no, she cool. No, look. I'd be afraid for y'all to get together, and hang out, man.
Oh,
No, she good people. She good people.
okay, so I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm calling you on
Yeah,
Monday. I'm gonna call you on Monday.
yeah. Let's go.
See what's going on. I know you're a busy man, so I'm gonna try to get you in here as much as I can.
Well,
Um,
I like this platform because I like where your head is. I like where you're going. I like what you're saying. I like what you're doing. And to say like is an understatement because I love it, you know. And so I want to try to do what I can do to try to help promote you because there are a lot of sisters out here that just need to hear your voice, hear the way you pronunciate things, hear the way you make things make sense because sometimes sense ain't common. And so the things that you're saying are things that plant seeds in our people in order for them to grow because they can identify with pain. Pain is a vibration that never goes away. You might not feel it, you might not think it, but the vibration from the pain that we have been for so long been passed down, you giving that to these young sisters when you giving that emphasis about how they should live and why your why factors based upon your fears, based upon, like I said, that vibration inside of you that they can relate to, not by the words, but because of the way that you make them feel when you say what you say. So I want to help you to be able to do that because this is what the Most High told me that He wanted me to do. He said, if you love me, He told Peter, He said, love a thou of me. He said it 3 times. He said, you know I love you, Lord. He said, feed my sheep. So
yeah.
when I stand before the Most High, He gonna say, did you feed my sheep? And if you did, then what do you do? Because we got it all recorded. So if you lying, I got that lake of fire coming for you,
Right.
homie. And I'm more afraid of him than I am anything, including my
Anything.
mama and my wife.
Right. And that's what I'm like. I'm more afraid of God than anything. So y'all better just leave me alone.
Um, because we are the children that He elected, the ones He made a covenant with. And if anybody get a chance, go read Jubilees. It's in the Apocrypha that they took out in the 1700s, the Protestant Church, but it's in the Book of Jubilees. And if you read chapter 15, verse 30 through 33, it basically 28, excuse me. So is Jubilees chapter 15 starting at 28 to 33, whereas right there, God said, I made a covenant with the children of Israel, but He didn't make a covenant with Edom. He didn't make a covenant with the Arabs. He didn't make a covenant with nobody. And He said He was going to allow them to have their own gods to lead them away from Him so that He
Right.
can focus on us. And so I see why they took it out because it's too empowering for our people to ever read. Because if you read it and you know He's talking to you, then you're the liar if you don't stand on it. You're the liar if you don't act on it. You don't love Him if you don't stand in the power He told you to by the name of Yahweh, Bahashem HaMashiach Yahweh Shah.
Amen. You know, I don't know Hebrew. I'm still learning Spanish.
That was Hebrew.
Right.
Because remember, His name was Yahweh. They took out they took out every, like I said, they took out Yahweh and they took out Yahweh Shah all through the Bible, from the Old Testament to the New Testament, and then they replaced it with God, Lord, and Jesus. But if you call Him by His real name, if you really think there's power in the name of Jesus, boy, it'll scare the hell out of you to call Him by Yahweh. He said
That's
Yahweh
what
by Yahweh Shah. Like, man, there's so much power in that. Like, my tank filled full just speaking His name, and that's why they gave us their names, because all of our names as slaves had something phonetically that sounded like Yah in it. And He said, if you call upon me, there am I. And that's why they took our names away from us. We're the only nation who they ever took their. No Chinese man ever came here and they took his name from him. He gave himself another name just to fit in with them. He gave himself their name. And I was just thinking earlier about our last names, and I was like, wow, that's pretty deep. And just having a conversation with myself, I said, what if somebody? Okay, I say, what if somebody named Williamson? Like if I said to myself, if I was one of the people that was ruling this world, and I ran into somebody that was from another nation that lived in a country that my forefathers brought them to, and they said their last name and their last name was the same as mine, boy, you know how empowered I would feel. Like if he said, if my last, if my forefather's last name was Williamson, and then I meet somebody named Williamson or Jackson, that meant that my fathers owned them. I would feel good as hell on the inside. Like that's just me. But it's like, think about how great it is to have somebody say that they was owned by you by without saying they was owned by you. Think about it.
It's
Just
hard.
think for 1 second.
That's why Malcolm was Malcolm X. He was like, I can't do
What's
this.
that?
I said that's why Malcolm turned into Malcolm X. It's just, I think it's horrible. Even when you see the street, like you say, I see Herring, which is not even my last name, but of course Douglas, and all our names are on all these streets. And like you said, rightfully, those, like you said, those, but that's our family. That's how crazy this country is. That
Exactly. You
we
gotta
don't
accept
have
it.
the right side of the family.
Right.
Americans have no I know I got Irish family. We don't know none of them because
The
the Irish
original Irish was black. The original
shoot,
Irish was black. So let's just get that out there. And when they celebrate St. Patrick's,
why they were slaves as well. Because
but
like I said, that's why they were slaves as well, because they were considered,
they
if you
were indentured. They were indentured servants. They weren't slaves. They weren't put on the bottom of slave ship. They were indentured servants that owned. They owed their families owed money, or they was criminals. So what they did was for 7 years with they sent them to be in captivity, to the extent that if like the people that was in Ireland that was in prison, when they discovered a place that people already lived on, and said, well, if you go over there and work, and after 7 years, then we'll give you the land, we'll give you a loan for the land, we'll give you the loan to buy the slaves. Matter of fact, the first stock on the stock market was slaves, because a slave worth was like having Michael Jordan. All these basketball, football teams with these all-stars, those are the best slaves. So that slave was worth so much more. That's why the stock market that's how it got started. But I was just saying that man, girl,
I got pissed off again.
I'm sorry.
I need some water too.
But it's just that our people, that's why I said the blind cannot lead the blind, because our people have been taught that the carrot that our oppressors give us is the way to live. And we spend our whole life trying to rob Peter to pay the Paul. But if we ever held hands together, and we all ate together, and we all lived together as a tribal people live, then we'd pay one rent, but it'd be 1,000,000 people. I'm gonna let you think about that one.
Why would okay? What
Anyway,
but I've never even asked you this. So what do you think? And what is your stance on reparations?
why? That's my stance on it. Why you want reparations when the God you serve said you're going to come out with great substance and all nations are going to be made to serve you? So what can you give me now that I ain't going to have according to the promise of the Most High? He said I'm going to have
Okay, what I would
everything.
say to that is, wouldn't you think that reparations might be of that what God is talking about? That you don't think that might be a part of God's plan?
Well, so okay, well, all right. Well, if you're talking about money, then I say no, I don't want money. Give me land.
I'm talking about the 40 acres and a mule, which would equate to land and money and contracts and wealth, just the wealth of generation.
The God I said I'm gonna have, he said I'm gonna have mansions. He said I'm gonna have 7 wives. I mean, he said people are gonna be made to serve me. So I believe that. So it ain't nothing on this earth you can actually offer me that I ain't already had. And I can tell you, being rich, being poor, don't matter. The times when I've had the most money was when I was most miserable. And the times I've been the most happy is when I ain't have shit.
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, it's not about 40 acres and a mule. It's not about reparations. You ain't got to give me reparations because this your world, this your kingdom. But my God, the Yahweh said that in my kingdom, I'm going to own everything. I'm going to own the banks. I'm going to own the football stadiums. I'm going to own the teams. I'm going to own everything, all the financial institutions. So you can't give me nothing right now because I know that the next time I'm opening my eyes,
I have a
I'm
question.
sorry.
Does your birth certificate say Negro?
I'm sorry. Say what?
Does your birth certificate say Negro?
I don't know what it say. He said we be a byword in a proverb.
You know,
So
I'm just
every
asking because if it says Negro, then you're entitled to reparations. So I wanted to know that once we get our reparations check, can I have yours since you don't know?
the earth is gonna be my reparations. It ain't nothing they can give me. You
That
can't
wasn't
give me. I don't want their
on that
money.
shit to me.
They can give every black person on earth $1 billion and wake up tomorrow and tell you it's only worth a penny. So I don't want it. They so
You,
so that's just the whole trap. When they give you reparations, they tell you what it's worth.
but
They
when
still
they give you
controlling you.
reparations, they giving you what they owe you. In fact,
No,
yeah,
no, they don't listen. They don't owe me anything. God owes me because he made a covenant with our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So he said, I'm going to keep that covenant. So that means he owed me this covenant that he said that he's going to keep. So again, this world, this is made by them. These European looking houses, these structures, this comes from them. These streets, this comes from them. They get to name this comes from them. What's coming for us is everything. But the difference between them and us is he said that we're going to be given the tree of life. We ain't never going to die. And that's why Esau said when my father dies, he said, I'm gonna kill my brother. That's why they've always been trying to kill us because the blessing that he gave us. And you can go back and read that in Genesis 27:28, the blessing he gave to Jacob, and then read in Genesis 27:39 and 40, where he gave Esau his blessing by the sword. And that's why they've lived by the sword. So if you believe in God, then reparations for what? Because I'm gonna have everything. I don't need you to give me nothing. This is me carrying out the punishment that he said he was going to put on our forefathers. But he said after that punishment of the forefathers is up, then I'm going to let you inherit the world. And that's what he said. So he owes me that inheritance.
so how you don't know that reparations is that inheritance? Why don't you think why don't you see the correlation, or why would you say that that's not a correlation?
Because what I'm trying to tell you is that if we get reparations, like if you're my enemy, right? If you're my enemy, okay, let's say you and me enemies, right? You and me have a fight and I win. What do I owe you?
What do you mean?
If I beat you up, if I break your leg, if I break your back, if I rape your children, if I feed them to alligators, if I hang you from a tree, what do I owe you when I won the war?
You owe me death and you need to be out
I
my
said, I said, if I won the war, what do I owe you? No, see, when my time expires for my kids not to be over your kids, then you can get your reparations. But until then, and I'm talking to me, I ain't even talking about white people, I ain't talking about black people, I ain't talking about Asian people, I'm talking about me. Make it make sense. If I've been given a time to rule, why would I care about giving you anything when I know a time is coming when I'm gonna serve you forever? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do everything I can do, which is everything they've been doing, killing us, raping us, robbing us, stealing our money, everything. They've been doing that because they have a time limit. See, their time don't last forever. Ours do.
So what do you think that we're the Joshua generation?
What's that?
I said, would you say that we are the Joshua generation that's coming back to get our stuff?
Absolutely. Read Revelations chapter 11, verse 6 and 7.
Just sound
That's
like
the
reparations, but it's just deeper than reparations.
well, see, he said in Revelation, I'm sorry, in Revelation, no, excuse me, in Genesis 27:28, when he told Jacob, he said, I give you the dew of heaven. He was saying, I'm giving you something, a spiritual gift. He said, I give you the fatness of the earth, plenty of corn and wine. But then when he blessed when he blessed our brother Esau, he said, I give you dew of heaven from above. He said, I'll choose who I choose among you. He said, but by the sword you shall live. And so that's the way they've lived. But they have a time, because he said, and so he goes on to say, when you have the yoke of, he said, and when you have the yoke of iron around his neck, that you should break that yoke of iron from around your brother's neck. And he said, I'm sorry, when you have dominion over your brother, dominion means rulership. He said, and when you have rulership over your brother, then he said, will you break the yoke of iron? But God is saying he's going to have a hand in breaking a yoke of iron. And that's what he's doing. He's killing their financial system. They got guns, we got guns. But the point is, God is going, but what I'm trying to say, it's not about us lifting a hand to fight against them. This is about God coming back, turning these curses back on them, just like he did in Egypt. He's taking away their money. He's bringing plagues and pestilence. First time you ever walk out the house and you got to be afraid to even shake somebody's hand, sit in the car with
What
somebody.
about the scripture? The wealth of the wicked is being turned over to the righteous,
That part.
stored up for the
That
righteous.
part. But that's what I'm trying to say in terms of reparations. You can't want, no, yeah, you can want it, but if you have it, all you're doing is spending it back with them. When they give you reparations, all you're going to do is go and buy everything that they own.
I
They
I feel like if we get reparations and it comes as a full like reparations package and plan, um, we will be able to clean up our communities. We
No,
will. You
no,
have power. You have the
mm-mm,
power that
mm-mm.
the
Yes,
um,
power, but
and
money
when I say
corrupts.
power, I just mean not even power, but you have access. So, and access is power. You have
Money
access
corrupts.
when you don't. No, I don't mean money as far as like rich. I mean access, like being able to be a homeowner, being able. And
Mhm.
again, this is
To
something
pay
that,
mortgage.
the average Black American, that's not something like I'm like bending over backwards and like having to scream about we need to be saving to buy a home, because again, that's not a priority for the average Black, because it's almost in their minds unattainable. Like I sound like I'm, until I start saying, okay, this program now, and there are multiple programs, and you can do your, like I said, your own reparation. Okay, I can sit up and do all kinds of repair and take advantage of programs, but
In a world that's not yours.
and in general for all of us, like it needs to be on a real community level, not just Phelan knows how to go out there and get a reparations. Because I don't got, again, trust me, I'm out here getting my reparations whether they like it or not. I'm gonna get mine, but I think that all of us need to be tapping into access. Okay, and again, I say access because I hate for people to think that you're supposed to be poor. You're supposed to be downtrodden. No, we deserve access because that's the only way that you leave legacy. That's
The
the only
word
way.
said we was going to be servants, though, Queen. God said we was going to be servants.
Until a certain time comes.
Yes, but even then, until we come back to keeping the laws of God,
Right.
if your father tell you to do something and you don't do it, why would you expect a reward?
Well, there's nothing, and that's what I'm saying. What are we not doing? What are we not doing?
We're not keeping the holy days. We're not keeping the
Who not?
Sabbath. No,
Well,
I ain't say everybody. I'm definitely not saying everybody. I'm saying our people as a whole. We still celebrating our oppressors' day.
let me tell you
They
something.
call them holidays. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you something.
Tell me.
I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna get. This is real personal, so I don't even know if I should be saying it. But I was supposed to be going to Norwalk. because that's the closest, I got to get my birth certificate. That's how I know my birth certificate says me. But for some reason, I ended up in Riverside. That's why I keep on telling people, I know God, it must be pushing me to move to Riverside. But not only did I end up in Riverside, mind you, I went to Riverside another time when I went to Arizona, out there and coming back, and I went to the same vegetarian spot. And it was like, wow, right around the college or university. And I was like, wow, okay. So I Googled, I was like, I'm all the way in the wrong place, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, but I'm in. So I Googled vegan food, and it took me around, and I kept on going to the 7 Day Adventist University, and I'm like, why do they keep bringing me to the 7 Day Adventist? The the vegan uh, restaurant is on the campus, and I'm like, oh my god! And then when I stopped dealing with Jehovah's, Jehovah's Witnesses, that's where I went. I went with the 7 Day Adventists because, again, like you said, they keep a proper Sabbath. They're vegetarian, vegan, and
Mhm.
it just and I did that for a while. And I remember that my life was on such a great track. That's why when I was in Riverside, I'm like, do you want me to go to this university? It's called Sierra University. Have you heard of it in Riverside? And it's a 7 Day Adventist university. So, and I've been on for the last 3 or 4 weeks. I've been considering going to that university along with UCI. But I was going to go to Long Beach, Cal State Long Beach, with the UCI program that I got a scholarship program for my sociology. But anyway, and I'm like, okay, is that what God telling me all this with all this other stuff, like whatever? No, I need you to get here. And so yeah, that's why I said it's really personal. But yeah, how you said that we have to be following God, and that's what's been happening over the last couple of years of my life. Because when I had my last, that's why I said I'm gonna say this and we're gonna get out of here. I had my foster girls, and I was just praying. There was a lot of racial stuff going on with them, and it was just like you said, you're not doing what I'm telling you to do. You're doing all this other stuff. Yeah, you get money. Yeah, you over your work, and then I got pulled all the way back to Irvine from a big 4 bedroom home, right? Pulled back to a 3 bedroom apartment that cost way more money than my
Mhm.
4 bedroom home, where I had these big plans to do certain things. But now it's kind of like I'm in the valley of decision about a lot of stuff. And as soon as you said we ain't keeping the laws and we ain't keeping the Sabbath, why did that whole university thing and that the valley of decision about that university? So again, I feel like, again, we are. Yeah, I'm listening to you, brother, and we this is like we are like we talk every day. Okay, I feel like, and again, we don't talk at all. But I'm listening to you. I'm listening to who you are, and no, we are striving, and we are listening, and we are hearing, and I believe, again, I'm hearing you, so you answering the call, and I know that I'm answering the call, and I know I've sacrificed. So again, I'm willing to answer any call, but at the end of the day, we, especially us activists, we have to know that brothers like you and all as a collective, our people have our back when we're going into these places and talking about these things. Okay, because again, I put my life on the line and put a book about reparations out there. Okay. And again, when I say I put my life on the line, because like you said, these people don't want us to have reparation. They don't want us to come full circle. But we are the Joshua generation. We are the Joshua. We not like our ancestors. We not playing them games.
Right. They was under the curse. That's why.
You know, and again, and when I say we need access, because my mama's house. Do you know right now they let my mama house go upside down, upside down, upside down, until so now some Arabs got my mama house. Okay,
Wow.
because it's
So
my
sorry to hear that.
yeah, my name is connected to that house, so they got big walls and all. Because again, they, I'm in. Okay, so my audience, this is the announcement that I wanted to make. Okay, so yes, I did the interview, and I'm officially in the Marquise Who's Who in America. So again, that's
Wow.
my address. Okay,
All praises.
feel like they gave it to those Arabs so that when they come to that house, it's going to look like this big glamorous house at the corner. Because it does. It's like, what is this house? And it's my mama house, and again, some Arabs. You know,
But don't
and
worry.
I almost feel like, again, you owe me reparations for the fact. And then the Katrina thing. You know how they only talk about
Mhm.
Katrina in Louisiana, but they don't talk
Mhm.
about what happened in Biloxi. Well, my family is from Biloxi, okay?
Right.
And our little family museum, which was just a house, a two-bedroom house, had all of our archives of our family, right? Washed away in Katrina.
Mhm.
I think they said they gave them $10,000. $10,000,
That's
and it's gone.
terrible.
So we don't have that house. We don't have that land. We don't have nothing. Now my grandmother
Okay.
house is appointment. But no, 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 no. Like I said, Fela, if nothing else, I'm fighting for reparations because I'm gonna take mine, and then I want my people to be behind me getting theirs, and that's why, like I plan on being the blueprint of, again, how to get up out the ghetto, get it, and then
Right.
get your ass back in the ghetto and clean it up. Okay, because again, that is what our job is as well. That's a part of reparation. That's a part of repair. And reparation starts with us. It has to start.
So, so now I understand what you're saying about reparations. Okay. So when you were talking about reparations, I want to clarify something. I do want our people to be prosperous, but I also recognize one thing about our people that is not spoken about ever is that God said that for a while, for a time, our people was going to be made to serve another people.
Right.
But he said afterwards they're going to come out with great substance. So when I'm talking about reparations, yeah, he said they're going to be made to serve us. He said all nations. This ain't even about color because some of our people ain't our people. You know what I mean? And some of their people ain't their people. They just don't know it. But the point I'm trying to make on this reparations, yeah, I do want reparations. But what I'm saying is I don't expect reparations because if I was given rulership for a short time, I'm not finna give up. You know what I mean? Because it's like you gave it to me, and I know what time is coming where you said that my people gonna be in subjection to these people that I took into captivity. So
Yeah.
that's why I said no on reparations because I know we're gonna get everything according to the word. But yeah, I do want reparations. I want to be able to bring my family, my people. But see, the thing that I do know is that they'll never give us programs without infiltration of them so that we can build. Because if we ever can come back as a people, then we created everything but the patent office. So it would really leave them lopsided in terms of that's why they made busing with schools because our teachers was teaching us better than they were being taught. Their schools can compete with us in no athleticism. So we know why we're in this struggle, if you will, because we know that our forefathers did something wrong and it made God mad, and he broke a covenant that he made with us. But when Christ came back, he brought back in the order of Melchizedek. He brought back in that thing that special that gift from that he gave to Jacob has been restored back to us. That's why can't nobody have church like us. That's why I can't, ain't no, it's like you got all these different sports, but we pretty much dominate every sport that our people really get into. We created hockey, but of course you don't know that.
All
But the
right.
point is, is that we are holy people. We are special people. God said we are gods, and he didn't call nobody else a god in the Bible but us. But the point is, we want these reparations, but I don't want reparations so that I can give it back to our oppressors. I want that reparation so that our people can build something that money cannot buy.
Yes, yes, yes. And again, when I say reparation starts with us, again, I know a lot at my age and all the different fields that I've been in, and there are contracts out there where when we tap in, we can. Like, again, I've been trying to do family business, but I'm at the point now where I'm not worried about family. I'm more concerned about community and people who are ready to lead. But we need to run these shelters. We need to have these transitional housing programs.
Mhm.
And again, these are these are programs that ensure generational wealth for the builders. So if I build it, number one, I've established something for my people. Number two, I've established generational wealth for my family. Okay, and any of us that come together and do it. So If I'm from my family, you and we all come together, then that's 3, 4 different families who have come together to put together these facilities that gross about 50 to 100,000 a month. Okay, like 50 to 100,000 a month to house government children and have superior programs, not the average, whatever. Because I built this and I got 10 of them, and I really don't care about these black and brown children. No, excellent programs where maybe there are only 4 of them, not 10 of them, but they're top tier quality programs. And again, I'm talking about transitional housing for women. I'm talking about transitional for women coming out of mental homes, coming out of prison. Again, the foster children, they have mothers that we're not supposed to be trying to take foster children from their mothers. No, we need a such sector of women who are taking care of these mothers, the biological mothers, and helping them to get themselves together so they get their children. Because one thing I've learned as a foster parent, I don't remember any child that came to my house who didn't want to go to their mama. Whether their mama wasn't nothing, their mama was horrible, neglectful, whatever. Those children want their mother. So we have a duty to help clean up their mothers, clean up the fathers. Again,
And we got to fight for that.
Who else is going to do it?
We
If
got
we
to
don't,
fight for that.
who cares about black women, brown women, poor women? But us, we have to care about our sisters. We have to care about our sisters. And we have to care enough about these children to build programs for them. And again, it ain't about anything but the time, the effort, and being able to come together with other ones who are willing to build these programs and make sure that our communities are safe. And that's reparation. Okay. And again, it starts with us. Ain't nobody else gonna come in and say, what are we gonna do about the mothers? Nobody cares. If we don't care, then it's off the table. Period. So that's when I say reparation and start with us. Again, there are ways that you like the brothers was it's almost like you tapped into it, but you automatically will be taken care of. Not necessarily the wealth that like millionaire status, but you'll be automatically taken care of, where you will be able to feed nations, and you'll be able to give and be lend and not be borrowing, just because you position yourself to serve the people and take care of the women and the families, like not just the women and the children, but the families as a whole. So if you serve the people, you're going to be well taken care of. God is going to take care of you. That God takes care. I trust and believe me. There have been times when I wasn't on track at all, and I were falling apart. But when I'm on track and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I don't miss a beat. I don't have, even if I'm worrying about missing a beat, it's like, dang, where did that come from? More than enough, all of the time. Okay, so just imagine that turned up with people who are willing to start doing things on a grand scale for our people in the name of reparations, starting with us. That's where we have to get. Okay, that's where all of these other people are. Okay, in fact, and that's a part of like the brother was saying, how we somehow have gotten we've allowed ourselves. Ain't nobody put us in a position where we don't know how to do. No, we've allowed ourselves to get caught up in entertainment, in sports, in this and that, and nobody's worried about social services. Okay, a lot of us ain't. Who's going to medical school? Where are our dentists? Where are our lawyers, attorneys? These are the things that we have to get ourselves and our communities in alignment, so that we are reversing this, because we're moving further and further and further away from education and core knowledge. Okay, our children. I haven't been in that field, but last time I was, like I said, they're not reading at a proper grade level. Again, when you get the cell phones and all this texting and all this stuff, it has dumbed them down, and it is our responsibility to reverse that. Because again, we can't be dumbed down. I mean, those people in the hills with the middle class and rich and all whatever, maybe they can afford to let their children be dumb. But we can't afford barely making the middle class, okay? Barely making middle class, okay? barely, working poor. Okay, we can't afford for because that is what we had. No matter what, she made it came out the projects. Even me, I came from Pacoima, but bet you what, when I got over there to Northridge and them schools, I was tearing their ass up with that knowledge. Okay, I was writing essays and everything. That's why I was in a gifted magnet program. So again, we weren't. I was raised in a lower middle class household, competing with rich people on the west side. But when I got in that classroom, I could compete. I could compete. Can our children compete today? And I challenge us again to take it back because our children are lacking that. The more money we get, the less we're interested in our children being smart. And that's not okay. Because again, back in the hood, that was a thing. You come with that report card because I want to know what that report card looked like before I start Christmas shopping. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden it's like, you get what you want and everything. Everybody's too comfortable. You're way too comfortable. Okay. And our children are not just falling, they already were behind. And now they just dropping off. And we got to get serious about, again, repairing some of this stuff because, again, can't just blame the government and the white man and this and that when your ass don't care if your child can read. Okay, you more concerned with how cute, they are, and if they what shade of brown they are, than if they're literate. Okay, like, oh Lord, but
I'm with no, I mean everything you saying is on point, but that's what it's all about about our people and our nature is a tribal people. Everything you spoke on is as a tribal people. I know it probably feels like okay, this is the way I feel, but this ain't the way you feel. This is what has been interwoven into your spirit through our ancestors. Because remember, they say that when the Bible speaks about reincarnation all the time, and so you are your ancestors, and what you're speaking on is on behalf of our ancestors. But again, it comes down to rulership, and you gotta consider that this is not our world. And I hate to say that painfully because a lot of people think that when you die you go to heaven, but no, this world is a construct by somebody said, well, I want the roads on this side of the street, and I want houses to look this way, and I want this and I want that. Some nation has been given the power, which is the garments of skins, which I won't even get into, but I'll let you know the garments of skins was given to Adam and Eve when they came out of the Garden of Eden to get prosperity in the world. It was stolen by Ham on the ship. He passed it down to his son, Nimrod. Or well, no, he passed it down to Cush because Nimrod is the son of Cush, Hamite, Kemet. And so he had rulership over the world. And we can prove that by looking at all the things around the world, which is African, which is pyramids and the pharaohs and all the greatest history that we know of was given to the sons of Ham. Now you go forward to the sons of Japhet, which breaks down to Kittim or Chittim in the Bible. Kittim or Chittim is in Italy. That is the Roman Empire. They didn't die. They were separated. They were scattered around the world like we were scattered. If you want to know who they are, look at the ego. Read Obadiah 1 and 2. It's only one verse in Obadiah, but chapter one, it's only one chapter in Obadiah. And if you read verse 1 and 2, it tells you about East, it tells you about Edom and the nation they are, and how even though they got space stations up there in space, that he said he's going to bring them down when their time to rule is over with. So at the end of the day, we got to come to the overstanding, because I say over because under's not been enough, is that a certain people has been given the time to rule over the earth because that's what he said was going to happen. But then he said at the end, I'm going to have these people that they took into captivity, they're going to come out with great substance. So all these things that you're speaking about now, because these curses have lifted or broken, should I say, we can now go forward as a people and it can't be stopped. See, it's always been able to be stopped in the past because it wasn't our time to rule, but now is our time to reign over the earth. And the fear of oppressors is that we're going to do to them that what they done to us. But the difference between us and them is that we are spiritual people, holy people. So we're not going to treat them the way, I don't believe that I want to treat somebody the way that I was treated, because I don't want spit in my food. I don't want people feeling like they got a plot to kill me. So, you know what I mean? I'm just speaking to me. I ain't speaking for nobody. Because I hear a lot of brothers talking about, oh, you're going to be a slave in my kingdom. No, no, no. Look, captivity, bondage, or whatever you call it. Look, we ain't gonna do it that way. I ain't gonna treat nobody the way that I was treated, because that my ancestors. I don't think that's right. I want
It's
people to love me.
who
You
love
know
to
what I
be
mean?
others because they're treated correctly. They're paid a proper wage. They're able to have a livable wage and salary and take care of their families.
Yeah, I
So
want people happy to be around me. You know what I mean? I don't want to be looking over my back. I wanna feel like you spitting in my food. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that. Because we're talking about for an eternity. We're not talking about for a few years. We're talking about for eternity. So I don't want to make somebody who's supposed to be my enemy hate me. I want to feel like if somebody is trespassing on my land or whatever, you got my back. You know what I mean? Like, that's the relationship I want. Like, I don't want to feel like he's gonna shoot me as soon as I turn. Yeah.
you want to be
Anyway,
like,
I'm just talking,
is we hungry, master? We
but you
hungry.
know,
We
like
hungry,
the
master.
Bible say, the Bible say, if all possible, to live in peace with your enemy, and
Right.
so God calls them our enemies. You know, those are our brothers, and there's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad in all nationalities. But the Bible says you judge a tree by its fruit, so it's by your works. You know, you could say you love me and stab me in my back, and family members do that every day. And Christ said, who is my mother, who is my father? He said, he said that my family are the ones that love me, not the ones who say they love me, but it's through your works. You know, I got people, I love you, but if something happened to me right now, I can't call them, but I can call somebody else that ain't got the same blood as me, and they'll break their neck for me, and I'll do the same. So that's the definition to me of family, you know, because love at the end of the day is to do the will of the Father. So, you know, everything is based upon love, and love is the will of the Father. And remember, he said that I'm going to refine you not with silver, which is prosperity and riches. He said, I'm gonna refine you as gold in the fire. You know what I mean? You know, so the point I'm just trying to make is just that I just think that tomorrow, no matter what we going through today, is gonna be great for us, because remember, he said in time of the harvest, let the wheat and the tares grow together.
Right.
And at the end of he said, at the time of the harvest, separate the tares, bind them up, put them in the fire, and take the wheat, bind them up, and put them in the barn. So I ain't got to argue about right and wrong. You know what's right and wrong. All I'm trying to do is what he told me to do, which is keep his laws, statutes, commandments to the best of my ability. He said, seek his face daily. And that's just what I try to do. You know, that's it.
Okay, and with that being said, I'm gonna let him that statement end it all. You know what I mean? And that's important. Like we all need to know that you're gonna have to choose which way you're gonna go. And we all walking together, and the Most High is gonna do the judging. So you just better figure out where you fall in line. And I'm saying that to myself. I better figure out where I fall in line. Okay.
That part. He said, I come like a thief in the night to give unto every man according to his deeds. So you
Exactly.
don't know when he coming. Because if I'm breaking in your house, I'm gonna try to do it at a time when you least suspect it. And that's what Christ said. That's what God said. You know, he said when Christ come, he gonna come like a thief in the night.
And don't let them come catch you slipping. Right.
And he said to his
Stay
enemies,
ready.
he said, he said to his enemies, I'm not gonna meet you as a man. So what they gonna everything that they done to him and to his people, he said they're gonna have to pay for. He's not coming back to fight the devil. The devil worked for God because he has to ask God for permission every time he want to kill somebody. So that means you work for somebody. You know what I mean?
You ain't equal to, at least. Right.
Well,
Okay. Ooh, okay. We at 8:10. Look, we good. We good. Good timing, kind of. We don't
all
ran.
right.
Let's folks and have a good time. Okay, so let me read all the comments because I haven't been able to. I haven't read the comments. Okay, I just got a message 5 minutes ago from Carl, Professor Carl. He says, "I've been on the phone all this time listening. Thank you. Thank that brother for me. So thank you, brother. That's what Carl said. And
Cool.
let's see what Candy Mom is saying over here. Speak the truth, sis. Oh God, because you talk about my cousin. My bad now. Yes, you guys know laughing. Like Candy Ma, I say, she said, be of service and God will provide the tools you need. Yes, absolutely. Yep. When you are serving, when you are serving other people, God will certainly take care of you. And I'm sure that the brother can attest to that. And I certainly can attest to that.
All
Okay,
praise.
wait a minute. Carl said, "Champ, you know he's all into sports, so he's like, appreciate you, Champ. That's to you. You heard me?
He said what?
Appreciate you, Champ.
Oh, thank you.
I want to
Thank
make sure
you.
you get all your good compliments. Okay, okay. So that's it. And he said that he wants to come in. So we're gonna try to make sure next time I get you one to be able to get him probably the 30th if he has time. He's supposed to be doing a demonstration because he has so okay, to anybody out there listening and just everybody who hear this, I just want to make a couple of announcements at the end. So again, we're gonna be here on the 30th. Just the pajama jammy, so it's gonna be a lot of fun music. I'm gonna actually do the whole radio show. We're gonna play music, dance, have different windows open and different stations. And I have my son out there in Georgia, and he's gonna have a station where he's doing mask making, and we're gonna have the mask making vision board. And I have my folks who are local that I'm gonna make sure they have their stuff. Anybody who's not local, if you want to participate in, I will be putting out little announcements and telling you what you should have to join in. But again, it's going to be a good time. I don't expect everybody to be on the whole time because I plan on pretty much all day and night messing around in and out again. On the 30th, I don't know where I'm going to be. I probably will start off in one location and end up in another location. So again, um, Brother Carl, he's not here. Uh, he's going to do a demonstration, hopefully, um, of what we're going to do with the 7 week life hack. Okay, so 7 week life hack. I'm going to talk to you, brother. Um, like I said, after the holidays, to talk about that. And I'll see if you want to participate in just helping us with kind of us. Everybody's going to basically make a list of things that they want to do personally. So, and we're gonna have to make it a buddy system. So I may have a whole bunch of stuff that's totally, have nothing to do with what your life hack is, but we're gonna do a buddy system where we can make sure and hold each other accountable for our list and when we say we're gonna do it, what we're gonna be working on. When we say life hack, just breaking habits, creating new ones, and fixing your life. Okay, and for example, I went over last week, but for myself again, I'm down to 148 pounds, so I don't need to lose any more weight. I plan on making sure that I'm at least working out at the gym a couple of days a week. Make sure that I'm still walking, increase my water, and make my bed every day because I stopped doing that years ago, and I think that's really that threw me off because I was so used to at least pulling the cover over or something. Now it's like whatever. So yeah, these are the things that I'm doing for my life hack. But again, everybody's thing is going to be different. And that's not the only thing, but I'm just kind of throwing out examples. Um, Somebody else might want to lose 5 pounds or like just be on a weight loss journey. Maybe start their meatless Mondays, cutting back on maybe red meat, giving up pork, whatever. Okay, life hack. So again, we'll talk about it and see. I'm gonna have different people come in and maybe like if you want to participate, if you want to kind of counsel on some good ideas for whatever people are trying to do. So yes, uh, Brother Carl's going to do his demonstration. He has his ass combat, that which is accelerated street combat, where we are going to meet up at least 2 times in person in the 7 weeks, probably somewhere on the USC campus. Like I said, we're not trying to really necessarily be on the map because we're talking about self-defense. So we'll probably find a parking lot and do it like if someone attacked you in the parking lot. These are a couple of moves that you would make to get them off of you. Self-defense. Okay, so that, like I said, he's going to do a demonstration on the 30th, so you guys can kind of see exactly what he offers with his accelerated combat, street combat. Okay, that's all I wanted to say about him because he didn't get the chance to get on.
Right
Okay,
on.
it's sweating, Lord. Man, how wet. Okay. It's the lights. You know, I just turned all the lights away from me, like, ooh, burn it up. You see how this way? Oh. Okay. But that's it. So I'm so happy to have been able to come on and be with you. You're very inspirational, very knowledgeable, and again, I'm learning a lot just listening to you. I really have enjoyed this. Enjoyed myself. I hope you all have enjoyed yourselves, and we're gonna do it again. All right. We got all kinds of hearts and likes, so that's nice.
Nice. Nice.
Loves and likes. Okay.
Nice.
Oh, I know I gotta let you go. Look at that, I wanna let you go. I gotta let you go. When you coming to California? I'm
Man, I'm trying to come to California as soon as possible because me and In-N-Out Burger, like I miss In-N-Out Burger so much. Oh my
There's no
gosh.
In-N-Out burger in Indianapolis.
What?
There's no In-N-Out.
Cut it out. You better stop it. Quit playing with my taste buds.
Really? There's no In-N-Out.
No, there's no In-N-Out Burger. There's no Fat Burger. What?
Well, I know they probably got no fat burger. That ain't that popular on that side. But In-N-Out, I thought In-N-Out was everywhere.
It should be. You hear me?
Mhm. But they still have no veggie burgers, so I don't even go there.
Wow. That's
They
what's
don't
up.
got no veggie burger. Okay. Anyway, let me know when you coming out here so I can make sure that we link up because you done been here several times since I moved back. We just ain't been able to. I think we were in Vegas at the same time and didn't know it.
Yeah.
And we're
Yep.
like, I was in Vegas too. I was in Vegas
Right.
too. Well, shit. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much. Uh, thank you again. It's like you. I'm tired of saying thank you. And I will talk to you soon. And is there anything else you want to say to the folks out there because they watching still?
Well, I just want to say, call halal, which all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, by Shem Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah, to call him by his real name. And I just ask my people, call upon his name. If you think it's power in the name of Jesus, well, then just give a week and just call him by his name, Yahweh Shah. Call him Yahweh. The son is Yahweh Shah, and Yahweh is the father. And if you think there's name in Jesus, a name that he didn't know, the name is only 600 years old, well, what if you call him by his real name? I challenge you. That's all. So that's what I want to leave the people with, is just
Okay.
to say, because we have been taught how to think, how to feel, how to see, how to act. But I'm telling you, call him by his name. Don't take my word for it. Call him by his name, Yahweh, by Yahweh Shah, and see what happened. I guarantee you, the next time you be like, dang, there is different. I feel
Yeah,
different. Just,
you
just
you
the
need to type
vibration just
it.
feels different, you know.
You heard
But
me. You
that's
got
it.
to
Hey,
type
that's
it in
me.
the chat.
That's just me.
You heard me.
What's that?
I said you need to put it in the chat.
How I do that? Look, oh,
Are you? I don't
look,
even. Oh, can
I
you?
should know these things. Like I'm doing it right now. Let's see here.
Can you see that? I don't even know how to pin the stuff or anything. I don't know how did they decided they wasn't letting nobody else up in here. Or maybe I did it. No.
Well, when you speak on the name of the Father, that's what happens because you speak upon the truth. See, remember, there's a difference between Christianity and in the Word of God, because Christianity is what we've been forced to believe. Matter of fact, people don't know Christianity is why we even went into slavery. All you gotta do is look up the Spanish Inquisition, the people that lived in Spain, France, and Portugal, because they wouldn't convert to Christianity. They put them in prisons. They put them in Saint Tomé, which is right off the island. I mean, which is right off the west coast of Africa, the port of Benin, the slave port. And then our people, we started leaving Spain and we went down there to Africa. And matter of fact, if you Google search Negro land right now, it'll pop up a map showing where our people fled after the Spanish Inquisition because we wouldn't convert to Christianity. And then they said to the Hamitic people, we got these things called guns. What we'll do is we'll make you part of our Roman Empire trading, and we'll trade with you and give you these guns if you round up those people. These people that are called Negro. Negro is synonymous with Spain. It ain't synonymous with Africa. That came from King Yahya, who came up there to help King Ferdinand to defeat. Yeah, so King Ferdinand asked King Yahya to come up to help fight against that time the Moors, which at that time were the Muslim Moors. And so we helped them to fight, and they gave us the country of Granada and a whole bunch of other countries. But over the years, we lived there, we collected money for them, we was their bodyguards, we were everything. And we were prosperous people. We all got along good. But then what happened was when the Roman Empire started to rise back up, they said that in order to be a part of the trading route, in order to be a part of the protection of the Roman Empire, you have to convert to Christianity. Our people said no because we kept Torah. So, and to make a long story short, we ended up here. 94% of the people that was on the slave ship were of the Igbo tribe. The Igbo tribe were the direct descendants of King David. They fled, and when our people fled Israel in 70 AD, they went to Yemen. And then when the Arabs, the Muslims rose up in the Middle East, which they changed to, I mean, it used to be North America, but they changed it to the Middle East. Then they fled from Yemen into the Congo. So if you wonder why they always doing experiments in the Congo, is because they're trying to kill our people, because they know that God has given us the covenant. That means we're going to reign forever. We're going to get the tree of life. We're going to get everything restored back to us that was taken to us. So it don't matter if we don't have it in this lifetime, but we're going to have it forever in the next lifetime, unless God is a liar.
And with that being said, we're going to let y'all go. Okay? Thank you again, and we'll talk soon.
All right, Queen. Thank you so much for allowing me this window just to speak to you and just to be heard according to the word. Because he said, if you love me, feed my sheep. So what I'm feeding them is the word of the Most High. I've not used my words. Everything I said unequivocally, I can show you in the Bible. So again, that's where Kanye West and Kyrie Irving made their mistake. They didn't speak according to the scripture. They spoke according to their own feelings and thoughts. But God said, I'm not a respecter of persons. He don't care what you think or feel. So the devil can come against that, but the devil can't come against the word.
Okay? All right, y'all. Y'all heard the man. And I put the true names. I copy pasted it, and it's in the chat. You see it down there? You see I put it in the chat? On the Candy Moss statement. So there you have it, and it'll be there for y'all. And thank the audience for being with us. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the love. I see the love. I've seen the folks. I see a lot of folks over here. I haven't seen this many people over here on the stream, y'all. So thank you again, because they came for you.
I'm just a servant. That's all. He said, be shepherds to my sheep. I'm just trying to do his will, not my own.
But they love you. So thank you again. We're gonna get together. Yeah. Since it works, right? Yeah, it's working.
Or you can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Facebook, Lamon Brewster, LAMON BREWSTER.
Okay, and then on my thing, he's tagged, but yeah, he's way more popular than my page. So my folks, y'all see him on there, grab him. But say it again. So whatever you see his name. So his
Yeah,
name is there.
my name, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. But, It is what it is. Listen, I'm just gonna speak the truth according to the word. I ain't got nothing. I'm nobody. I'm just grateful that the Most High has allowed me to become the heavyweight champion of the world, and so He gave me something. So I'm gonna do His work because that's what happened. That's what happened at the end of my career. Is that He came to me when I came back to Indianapolis, and I was in my backyard that I grew up with, and my stepdad went into the house, and I'm standing out there at nighttime and I'm looking around like, Dad, I did this. I kissed a
Mhm.
girl here. I beat a dude up here. I played basketball there. And then it was like, I'm just enjoying just that. Wow, I'm catching up. Like, wow, it's so great to be home. I'm in my backyard. And while my stepdad was gone, it was like the spirit of the Most High said, what you gonna do for me? I did everything you asked me. You wanted to get out of Indianapolis? I gave you that. You want to
Wow.
see the world? I gave you that. You want to make some money? I gave you that. You want to become heavyweight champion of the world? I gave you that. What you gonna do for me? So I fight for the Most High because He did something for me. He proved Himself before I even proved myself. So I'm gonna prove myself according to His deed.
And you know what? We didn't get a chance to talk about the universities and the stuff work you're doing there. So we are definitely talking about that
Yeah,
when we get Carl on here because I want
yeah.
to hear about that and know about that. And you know, again, I really want you guys kind of. I don't know if there's any kind of work y'all can do together, whatever. But sounds like there's, you know, I don't know, I don't know. We'll
Well,
figure some stuff out down the line and along the way.
yeah, I want to definitely talk to you about that when we get another chance about the HBCU boxing, bringing
Yeah,
boxing
we'll
to
talk
the
about that and
black colleges.
talk about it a little bit, real quick. But that's the last thing we're gonna talk
Okay.
about, y'all. Let
Mhm.
just get 5 minutes. You know, if you
Yeah,
need that.
so there's a gentleman named Matthew Prince King, and he asked me to be the commissioner of this league. And so what I've done, because we're not going to be following the NCAA rules, nor will we be following the USA boxing rules, but everything that we're doing is kind of branching off of them. Like ain't no point in recreating the wheel. But what I've done is I'm going to make it so that people can get scholarships and get grants and get money to go to college by boxing. And you wear a bar and the gloves are bigger, but there's education to the point system. It's not going to be a 10-9 system. It's actually an education of why these punches, and the person will be rewarded for the things they work hard on in the gym, because boxing today is just based on a 10-9 system. But I have a system that is much greater, much more educational, because every punch a fighter throws and everything they do in the ring, it means something out in the world. It means something in life. So as a world champion, I am I have broken down what these punches mean in life, so that when you're going through life, because as I said earlier, we have education, but we don't have application. And my mathematical equation is education without application leads to a life of frustration. That's why we got so many educated fools. So what I'm doing is I'm teaching people how to apply themselves based upon your mentality, because you got three type of mentalities as a fighter. You got an aggressive fighter, you got a defensive fighter, and you got a counterpuncher fighter. And you got three type of people in this world. You got aggressive people, you got defensive people, and you got counterpunch people. So what I have done is broken down on paper to help people to understand how to perceive life as a fight based upon their stance as a fighter in the ring. Church.
All right, all right, that sounds good. So we're gonna go deeper next time we build. But for tonight,
Absolutely.
that's right on point. Okay. Thank you again. And this time, I'm going to end the broadcast. Thank the audience for thank you all for being here and supporting. Okay, this is only the beginning. We got a lot of stuff to come coming down the pipeline. And 2023 is going to be time to get free and stay free.
That part.
All
And the
right,
only way to get free is to get free.
right. You got to
That
take
part.
that freedom because ain't nobody finna give it to you. Okay.
Hey, the promises was given to us. All we got to do is let him do what he gonna do. I try to tell people what he gonna do. I ain't gonna get into it. I'll talk to you later. Love you, girl.
Okay. Love you too.
All right.